it's me. I'm back, and it's time to talk transit. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of, well, whatever this is going to be. I haven't really titled it just yet, but we are following along with the build out of the Oklahoma City Rapid BRT, or Bus Rapid Transit System, and today was the groundbreaking ceremony. So I figured, why not go down, take some video, get the whole thing, and show you the beginning of the project. Last month, if you remember, I posted a video from the unveiling of the rapid vehicles and an overall showcase of Embark's current transit vehicles as well. Well, today we're seeing the groundbreaking for the first station to be built on North Classen and Northwest 23rd. So here we go. Helps if I'm recording,
Good morning.
Mayor.
Great to see you.
Good to be here.
Like your shirt.
Thanks.
Have you voted already? I voted last week.
How are you doing?
All right. Oh, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the groundbreaking for the Northwest Rapid BRT. So this is Central Oklahoma's first bus rapid transit line, so we are so glad that you're here for this important historic event. I'm Jason Fairbrush. I'm Assistant City Manager and Administrator for Embark. And of course, it goes without saying, projects like this, they are not possible without the culmination of work from lots of different people, lots of different entities. So certainly want to recognize the Central Oklahoma Transportation and Parking Authority, COTPA, that board's leadership. I want to recognize the City Council for their support and guidance on this project. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without the Federal Transit Administration, which is here with us today, so we want to make sure we give them a big round. And then, of course, lots of city departments. We cannot coordinate this thing without lots of interdepartmental coordination. So departments like Public Works, Planning, Parks, Utilities, all have played a part of this. So I also want to recognize our construction partner on this project, Rudy Construction. They are in the house, so let's make sure we give them a hand. Most of them you can see in the safety vest, but do please get a chance, go around, shake their hand. They're the ones that are going to be building this thing and bringing it to fruition for the residents of Oklahoma City.
Everybody's taller than I am. So good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. I am honored to be here to celebrate the groundbreaking for the Northwest Rapid Line. So this is such an exciting time for public transportation in Oklahoma. But before I get into that, I want to acknowledge the mayor, Honorable Mayor Holt, as well as Ward 2 Councilmember James Cooper, and then COTPA Trustee Barry Sempner. Without your leadership here in the city, this wouldn't happen. And we appreciate everything that the local community does to make sure everybody has a right to work. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without the vision and hard work of your local transit leaders with Embark, including Embark Administrator Jason Fairbrush and Project Manager Kristen Torkelson, and then the other dedicated staff members of Embark who've worked so hard to bring the vision of this project to light. And I'm proud that USDOT is supporting the Rapid Northwest with over $15 million in grants, including $14.4 million through DOT's Build, Now Raise discretionary grant program. This is an exciting day for public transit in Oklahoma City, and I'm honored to join all of you for today's event celebrating the Rapid Northwest Line. It is a milestone that is the beginning of an even better future, a sustainable future for residents of Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. This project will have a positive impact on the everyday lives of people by connecting communities and bringing better, faster, safer transportation options to your neighborhoods. With the implementation of this project, everyone will be able to more easily connect to jobs, healthcare, education, and of course their families and friends, and creating opportunities for everyone to more easily do the things we do to live a happy, healthy life. The bipartisan infrastructure law has made the largest investment in transit in our country's history, with up to $108 billion for public transportation over the next 5 years. Also, the USDOT RAISE program, which funds projects across all modes, has expanded to $1.5 billion in FY22, which represents a 50% increase in available funds compared to last year. So there are more opportunities now, more than ever, to address the transportation challenges in the central Oklahoma region with the support of USDOT to increase access to safe, clean, and reliable transportation for all. And this project is a big step in that direction. I'd like to thank
Well, I echo all the gratitude that has been expressed this morning to all the many, many people who made this possible. But it's rare that we're in the presence of representation from FTA and United States Department of Transportation. So I certainly want to maybe hit that home. This would obviously not be possible without the support of the grant that we received and she referenced. I remember where I was 3.5 years ago when I first heard the news that we had gotten that. It made this possible. And obviously, we want to be on your radar in the years ahead for the many opportunities that are out there now through bipartisan infrastructure law and other things. Because we have a much bigger vision, you know. That's important to remind everyone of today, is that this is obviously would be very exciting just by itself. But this is part of something that we've been working on as a community for 15 years. And you've got people out there that have been a part of that journey all along the way. This all began with the creation of a plan, a fixed guideway study back 15 years ago that articulated the various needs that we felt our community had. And we've just been working through those over these last 15 years. And this grant got us our chance to have our first rapid transit. Now we're going to have more through MAPS 4. Of course, we've got the streetcar, we've got better bus service across the board, and there's a huge conversation that's going to happen the next 2 or 3 years about regional transit, especially with our partners Edmond and Norman. And all of this plays into a strategic plan that didn't exist many decades ago. I mean, I think we all understand that unfortunately public transit was a bit of an afterthought in this community for a very long time, but that has changed in a very dramatic way in these last 15 years. And it'll take another 10 or 15 years to see all of that reach its full potential. But that's, as I often say at these events, that's what persistence and patience are for. And with persistence and patience, we have gotten to this day. And of course, we'll get one more year or so, and we'll get to the even more exciting day, which of course is when we can jump on our first rapid bus right along Classen and Northwest Expressway. So,
you know, the bus rapid transit, the Northwest Rapid, will elevate the style and the use of transit in central Oklahoma like we've never seen before, and we're excited about it. The project will run from Main and Broadway, where it starts, head through the transit center, up the Classen Boulevard and the Northwest Highway to Meridian, and then back down again. The exciting thing is the headways, which is the time between each bus arriving at the stop in peak time is 12 minutes. You don't need a schedule if it's 12 minutes. You just show up at the bus station, and there will be 32 of them, and catch the next one, which you won't get bored. You'll hardly have time to look at your cell phone before the next bus comes. So we are excited about it. COPTA is thrilled to be a part of it, and as the mayor said, we've been planning this for a long time, and we're excited that we're finally getting to break ground. So.
For 7 years, I have lived in my imagination, and it is so cool right now to be here with you to see the next step in what will be our Northwest Rapid Transit. So I just wanted to tell you why this matters so much to me. I've quoted for many years now, 7 of them to be exact, since I started serving after a mayoral appointment on our public transit board. I've quoted for several years now Stanford economic research that says that for every year a kid grows up in a better environment, teen pregnancy goes down, college chances grow up, they earn more over their lifetime, they have more stable family environments. We also know that the kiddos who grow up in the not so better environments, these are places associated with income inequality, segregation, crime, and a lack of community. That same Stanford economic research, however, tells us that, and I'm quoting, good government can effectively boost the mobility of our students by investing in them, by investing in their neighborhoods, and by connecting their neighborhoods, by connecting our students to recreation, connecting our students to education, connecting our students to health care, mental health care, which is health care, connecting them to their friends, to employment opportunities. And along this 9.5 miles, 91,000 jobs. Along these 9.5 miles, 20% of our regions, not just our city, but our region's jobs, and 40,000 of our residents live within a half mile of this route. This route that, as you just heard, will go from downtown along. Use your imagination, dance with me in my imagination, because along this route, you will see people leave the plaza to hop on the BRT, leave the Asian district, the Paseo, Military Park, Putnam Heights, Boys and Girls Club. They'll go up Northwest Expressway. There will be the new Oak development, Penn Square Mall, Integris Hospital, Target, Pruitt's Foods, and it will stop there at the entrance into Lake Hefner. It is so exciting to know I will bike 7 minutes from where I live in the Paseo to this station to hop on a BRT to go hang out at Lake Hefner in Ward 8. Long overdue, but never forget, this is our history. This street, Anton Classen set this in motion all those years ago when he put a private streetcar system right here on this street. Right here on this boulevard. And we must make this a boulevard again. With this project comes sidewalks, and we must go forward as a community, and we must invest further in sidewalks. We must invest, and I'm calling on OKC Beautiful, the OKC Community Foundation, anyone in the private sector. We must line those sidewalks with trees, because we cannot have seniors and children walking along Classen and Northwest Expressway in the hot Oklahoma sun to get to this $28 million investment. This is our time to do this right, and I believe we can. There's already talks going on for that. That is the vision. It is the vision of the Paseo 100 years ago when it was the Spanish Village, when G.A. Nichols designed it as the first commercial district built outside of downtown. And he had the vision of the better environment that said when you walk out your front door, there should be sidewalks, crosswalks, trees, and streetlights guiding you to your basic needs. All I have ever campaigned on, all I have ever believed in the last 7 years has been that vision and bringing it into the 21st century. And that's why I have tears in my eyes right now. I didn't think this day was gonna come. I don't know why I didn't think that. Maybe it's because in Oklahoma, sometimes we just get so used to the government not delivering for us. But our local government has. And it's because of people like Mayor Holt, Jason Fairbush, Joe Beth Hammond, Larry Hopper. I'm forgetting names out there. Rhonda Hooper, Craig Freeman, Shamika, Toon, Marilyn, Jesse, Brent, Jeremy. People I call my friends in my community, and it's time we better connect to one another, and that's what this transportation system means to me. 2 more are coming in Maps 4, and I thank everyone who helped make that possible. God bless you.
So for about the next 10 minutes, it does get a little repetitive, but you'll see why. I mean, everybody got a chance to shovel dirt, from the previous speakers to Councilperson Joe Beth Hammond, who you see second on the right here, who didn't speak, but was there nonetheless because future BRT will extend into her ward. To yes, that's right, even yours truly, as you see here, got a chance to shovel some of the dirt, and that's pretty cool. All right, so this is Jesse Rush. He's a planner, right, for Embark?
Assistant Director.
Assistant Director of Operations. Okay. What's this mean for Oklahoma City and transit?
Yes, so for Oklahoma City, it's really, stepping up the game as far as transit in Oklahoma City. It's bringing a new mode to Oklahoma City, and it's also allowing us to better move people, provide that world-class service that we're intending to provide for the customers of Oklahoma City, really wrapping up all the different modes of transportation. It allows for the cycling, pedestrian, additional pedestrian access, connection to our fixed route services, our Spokey bikes, and connection at the downtown transit center to the Oklahoma City streetcar. So really, it's kind of putting a bow on all of the transportation services that we provide.
All right, that's big. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Let me make sure.
Take care.
All right.
Bye, you too.
I've got some interesting insights for you.
I'll look forward to them, Larry.
All right, so this is James Cooper. He is a Ward 2 council member and an Embark or a Copper Board trustee. What does this mean for you personally?
Accessibility. I think that when I look at my life in the Paseo and being able to bike 7 minutes from my 1920s fourplex up to this 23rd and Classen Station, or the upcoming 32nd and Classen Station, what that does is it gives me better access to my work downtown as a council person. It gives me better access if I need to go to neighborhood associations as a council person further up Northwest Expressway. It just gets me better access to my work. And beyond what it means for me, it will mean that all those residents, the 40,000 residents who live within a half mile of this route, whether on Classen or on Expressway or downtown, they too will have better access. And as I said in my speech, that access means employment opportunities, educational opportunities, grocery stores, parks. I mean, imagine now if you live in Military Park and you don't have a car and you might have a motorized wheelchair or you have a differing ability, now you can get safely on a sidewalk that will also be building along with this, that would connect you to Scissortail Park. And if you were a voter who voted for Maps 3 back in '09, but you haven't had that access because maybe the sidewalks were broken or you don't drive, now you get access to those investments in our city that all of us, so many, a majority of us help put in motion. So again, it's just about access. It's about access, and opportunity.
And of course, you mentioned Maps 4, that was like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That will build similar routes, South Side, which is where I live, and Northeast. And that's huge for Oklahoma City.
I think it's incredibly huge. I mean, imagine you have this route right now in Classen, but then imagine the Northeast route. What if the Northeast route connected up here along 23rd Street to Classen, down to MLK? What if it continued MLK out to Oklahoma County Health, but then went down to MLK until it connected not just to the First Americans Museum, but to Crooked Oak School? You would now have a route along historic MLK that would connect Metro Tech, Douglas, Zoo, Science Museum, Tinseltown, Remington Park, OK County Health, then you'd be able to connect people to this Classen route. Then you do that to the south side, suddenly you're talking about Capitol Hill, you're talking about OCCC, you're talking about Integris on the south side. And then you're also talking about park and rides, right? Because it can only go so far south. So what happens whenever you build a park and ride for people who live, let's say, South 119th, or one of those streets heading closer to Moore? What happens when they can drive their car in just a little bit, park it at a station like we just did a groundbreaking for here, and then set their car aside, make their way the rest of the route on the BRT? Or what if it's a senior or someone with a differing ability? What if they are actually, instead of using the car because maybe they don't feel comfortable doing so, they're able to tap into any of Embark's mobility service management stuff, and being able to say maybe they have a paratransit that connects them to the station, and then they use the BRT to get the rest of the way to their destination. So what you're talking about is, by the time this next decade is done, our city's first reliable public transit system here in the urban core. And I think beyond that, there will come a time where an election will happen in the next couple of years where residents will have the opportunity to say, once and for all, it's time to do a regional transit light rail connecting Edmond, OKC to Norman, and while doing that connectivity, making sure that we're finishing up here in Oklahoma City, whether that's putting 15-minute frequency on every single bus, not just the BRT, but actually investing in more buses. The more buses you have, the more frequency you have. You can go from 30 minutes to 15 minutes. But then voters are going to have to ask themselves kind of an existential question: are we ready to invest in more transit operators to operate that increase in buses? You have more operators, you have more buses, you reduce the current 30-minute frequency to 15 minutes. That's the industry standard to actually get more folk riding it. And the final thing I will say about that is this isn't hypothetical. Our last budget, as you know, when we increased the frequency on Route 18 on the east side, it was the last route with an hour, dropped it down to 30 minutes, ridership went up 70%.
Wow, that's a big increase. That's big numbers, and it's a big moment for Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
James, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate your advocacy.
And so there you go. That's the groundbreaking ceremony, basically in its entirety. A couple things. I have not come up with a name for this series just yet, but it is going to be a series, and I'm going to take you all the way up to the final opening of the rapid system on the northwest side. Now, the timeline for that is supposed to be the end of next year. So over the next 15 months, we'll go, I'll periodically go out, I'll shoot some more video, get some, kind of go through the entire route, and maybe one of these days I will actually go out and shoot the route start to finish, and yeah, we'll see, and I'll show you how that's going to work. But anyway, that's it for me for now. I'm Jeremy Moses. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you right back here in the very near future.